Greetings and salutations, yet again, Earthlings. So, I am enjoying my day and meditating and flowing, and I'm getting pings on my intuition yet again. And there's something yet again about the evolution and the arc thing. And there's something very much about the lifespans and the change in the limiting of the lifespan is when the different species were introduced to the genetic DNA. And yeah, that one flood was designed to be able to help the original star seeds to get back to help father genetically get us situated so that we can genetically get above the imbalances that were happening before the other flood of the Noah's Ark. I think the first ark was the original star seeds. So, ark. And then the next arc was in the evolution of genetic development and how other humanoids or whatever were introduced genetically, mating wise, that didn't have the lifespan that the original star seeds had. So each time something was genetically introduced to the DNA, messing with things so that their species could be kept perpetuating, their kind of reel it back in is try to grasp that flow. Let me see if I can grasp that train of thought again. Come on, stay with it. I don't want to be circled back to this stuff. Okay, so the interesting Noah portrayal and the Nephilims with Mr. Gladiator Man. Anyway, y'all know the movie I'm talking about. And that interesting take on it. And the way that the lifespans kept shortening throughout history. And the technology, there was only so many that had the information to the technology. But as long as the ones that are destructive and not of the highest loving God, Jesus-like, then until we get to that evolution in human history, weeding out the bad seeds, the bad DNA, and unlocking ancestors of the highest vibrations that of the original star seeds, and get rid of, we have to evolve genetically beyond with this tuning fork, sight, sound, what we choose to focus on. Thoughts become a thing. Love and healing, safe places to love and be loved. Overflowing abundance to all. We all thrive. The greater good. Always seeking within to be better and stronger and surrendering all to God. And that thing that keeps echoing, the let them. if you are surrendered to God and trust and believe that everything we eat, everything is provided by Him for us, and we are seeking Him, and we are believing and knowing that He provides all things for our greater good, what do we have to fear? Pray over the food, pray over the water, pray over your moments. And you fear not, because, well, what is there to fear? And just relax and enjoy your days. Spending time with Him and seeking Him. And yet also seeking guidance. Father, move this vessel as you would have me, in order to get through this day in the most blessed, wonderful way. You know that I need to adult. I got dishes I gotta do. This vessel needs fed, cared for, and I need love. And I know that you are leading, God, and directing me to all things. And I am on the path of least resistance to the higher timeline that's going to get me magnetized, bringing in my life partner, if that is God's will, that's going to help me see the safe haven ranches and rescues in the being all over the universes. At least, Father God, if you got good things like that planned, can you let me have a small bit of that coming into being? Can I be a part of whatever good stuff you got, Father? Just don't forget me. Don't leave me by the wayside. I want to, if you can use me to somehow, some way, inspire or help or let me be a part of it, I'd sure like that. Sure be a great blessing to my day, and I'm open to receiving the storehouse of heaven being poured forth unto me and mine, and breaking generational curses and not perpetuating any evil of any kind. So that's the kind of world I want to be living in, where I'm seeking you, Father. Can I meet others seeking you too? Being beautiful reflections of you. And if I'm not being a beautiful reflection of you, Father, can you right me in my wrong? Because I sure don't want to perpetuate anything that's not a beautiful reflection of you, Father. So, solutions and resolutions, Father. So, but yeah, the timelines, let them, the balancing of karma and the working out of anything within us that does not, that isn't of the most transparent good for ourselves. First of all, always for ourselves. Because one thing about a human and all creatures usually is self-preservation. It's another thing that I've been circled to dwell on, is the different aspects of each zodiac sign and the way that it relates in descriptions in tarot and things like that, and how the different personalities, the negative and positive polarities of each sign and the energetic interplays, and the way that is affected in each person's chart during the woo-woo weirdnesses, seriously, to help with the tuning forks, is something that the ancestors was very careful of with the pyramids and the bells and the weird woo-woo things that they are keeping hidden from because they don't understand. Seriously, because they didn't ask, they just didn't understand the technology is based on love. And if you don't have the emotional and spiritual capacity of tuning to that frequency of love, then they will never be able to unlock that technology. So the ancestors, the wise elders, the indigenous that knew it was just a matter of time before whatever they did to our DNA to bind themselves to us, trying to buy time that they didn't have on their own. It was just a matter of time before it was weeded out and we were able to do the switch from the positive to the negative and get back to tuning into that DNA of the originals, but it's a matter of mind, body, and spirit. It's a matter of integrating all of it to be able to utilize these vehicles properly. This beautiful temple, this beautiful touchable, tangible expression of my eternal anyway, in this touchable, tangible weirdo. And I am very glad. And I did choose my mom and dad. Yes, I did. My kids chose me, and my grandbabies chose me and their mom. We did. When it was that time, there was something within me that had to go to Chincoteague, Virginia, which is where I met my baby's dad. Their daddy, so. And he was meant my kids couldn't be them without being half him. Just as my grandchildren very uniquely could not be them without having their dads. And I mean, seriously. There's a scientific study that's done, and I got a link somewhere. Hopefully I'll find it, and if not, it's on my, trust me, I've posted it on my Facebook page, backing all this crap up. And that's one of the things that got one of my other channels supposedly taken down, was me attaching links of how, because every time I get an intuitive hit, I like to journal and link whatever song or point of reference, be it a story or somebody else posting a meme that gets you thinking or whatever. Anyway, but apparently that was enough to get reported and taken down. Whatever fodder, whoever's being spiteful to do whatever they can to get stuff reported and taken down for whatever malicious reason. Anyway, all right, reel it back in. But yeah, there's something about us evolving to the point of being able to see through the bullshit and understanding about the fear-mongering, and people truly finally understanding thoughts become things. You better focus on the love and the positive. And yes, these are lessons in history of what we will make sure never gets repeated. Everything the ancestors have gone through, everything that we have been witness to. I'm not perpetuating evil. And I'm not being weak and giving in to things that I know I'm not supposed to do. If their energy's off and they ain't vibing with me, fuck them. I don't want nothing to do with them. I got better things to do. Even if it's to sit home like a bump on a log with a candle burning and praying. I'll sit here happily like a bump on a log with a candle burning and in my peace with God, loving me, some me, and not perpetuating or participating in any yuck out there and being malicious and nasty for whatever reason. Yeah, I'll stay in my peace and be happy. So, that's what where I'm at today. Scorpion energies, these Scorpion full moon energies coming up. Yeah. Why, Lord, why do you consider Scorpions water? I get the crustacean part. But I think it's when you think of the water signs, they say water is the emotions. So then the oceans of emotions. And in that way, I can see where Scorpions are very, very deep, dark dwellers. Dark dwellers. Because they do tend to lurk in the shadows, really. Very watchful from the shadows. Lurking. And the Scorpions are seen as representative as the sexual organs, as I've said before. And a lot of times, lust and that Jezebel spirit is supposed to be some of the strongest that latches on, and with that stabbing, that tail, like the penis, stabbing, the poison, a lot of time of shame. Shame a lot of times is the poison of a lot of sex. If you haven't noticed, a lot of religions use sex as a way to twist and shame people, be it for their sexual preferences or whatever. Finding a way of making it dirty and ucky, instead of a way of using intimacy and beautiful, healing, loving ways to truly get closer with one another. So, that's why monogamy is such a test of true character and strength, I think. Being able to stay true to vows and marriages, to make a commitment and use that as a way to daily love yourself and choose honor anyway. Another thing about Scorpions is their nature. They like to have secrets on people. They like to know all the dirty little secrets, and they like to have it as a safeguard. They like having dirt on everybody. And a lot of times they will utilize that information in horrible ways that can't be taken back. That's a lot of times why I think death, birth, and resurrection. Because usually once a scorpion flicks that venom and burns them bridges, death, birth, and resurrection. You better, once you spew forth that venom, you better be killing any past negative behaviors to birth forth healthy, loving ones from the bridges you have burned. Because this is a new life after that. You have gone past the point of no return of that old life. So you better get rid of all that poison, all that yuck. You better unload all that burden. And you better have guts enough to cut all that shit off. Get it all out of your system. Learn from all your lessons. Renew yourself in God. And resurrect yourself as a new creature in Christ and be that phoenix you're supposed to be. Is the way this is feeling, that we're supposed to be utilizing them energies, and I'm trying, but man, I'm telling you, my crown chakra, y'all, my scalp is sensitive right now. Seriously, it is unreal in the energies. It's like a heaviness in my head. And in my neck. It's really, I need to, and I've got to get moving. Y'all seriously get moving, put music on, get to dancing, shake this stuff off. Seriously. Watch what you're focusing on, making sure it's positive. Know that we are supposed to be really examining ourselves and I know I am. I'm not giving in to the yuck. I will not. I am adapting, adjusting, and overcoming. Quicker, faster, smarter. I'm recognizing these patterns better because I love me and I don't want to keep repeating the yuck. I want a healthy love. I want to be flowed where I'm going to bloom and blossom into the best, most beautiful reflection of Father as the best me possible, so that I'm a good example for my grandbabies. Because there is a part of me in each one of them, and no matter what happens in this life, I'm continuing on in them. There's a part of me in them. And wherever there's a part of me, God dwells within me as me. So He dwells within them as them too. Absolutely. It's always been that way for me. I've always known that He dwells within me as me. So, and that's why He knew that I was tough enough to be this lone wolf badass that I am. I like my own company. Do I want to spend my life isolated the rest of my days? No. Am I desperate to be in a relationship? Absolutely not. Unless it's what Father means for me. Do I want companionship and friendship and love and all? Of course. But I'm not settling. So anyway, it'll be right or I'll be alone and in my peace. And I'm never alone anyway. Like I said, I love my company. I like hanging with me. And a lot of times other people, I think I want to be out and about and around other people until I get around them, and then I realize, ooh, Ooh, I cannot wait to get home away from you. Oh, anyway, and that's no shade, but it's getting rough to, be around other people that have it doesn't seem like they have any ability to regulate their own emotions, and all the deflections and that they're projecting. It's not, it's getting hard. So I'm okay to stay in my peace. Anyway, all right, so that's this flow for right now, for whatever reason. So maybe I should have journaled it, write it down first, but I felt moved to video journal instead. Mucho lovo. I hope y'all are being kind. Stay in your peace. Go get out in the woods and get grounded. And try not to take anything anybody says personally. And y'all, woo, be careful with any. I'm not even kidding. As a woman going through menopause and not having a thyroid and having my hormones out of balance, that's some rough stuff. And I'm not trying to get emotional about it, but when I say it's some rough stuff, I mean it's some rough stuff. So, but I'm determined I ain't gonna let it get the better of me. So, I come from love, I am love, I return to love, and I will wait until I have somebody that shows up capable of the same, to be able to eat before I even think about. I know that if I am to meet somebody, then it is, I know I'm to come into union. It's going to be all or nothing. I will be with somebody that loves me and is all in, and he wants to build and love in a way that neither one of us has experienced before. Because that's the only thing that I've ever asked from myself, Lord. Well and truly love and be loved in this life the way it's supposed to be, between a husband and wife. Just once. With somebody that shows up and participates and communicates and makes efforts. And if they ain't going to be about that, well, then I'm not going to be about it either. What are you doing, Mr. Kitty? Anyway, mucho lovo. We'll see if I can get him to go walking with me. Anyway, I hope y'all are being kind. Stop.